Each year, people around the world report encounters with strange animals that defy conventional understanding. These creatures often appear for brief periods before vanishing without a trace. So frequent are these sightings that an entire field of study, cryptozoology, was founded to investigate reports of unknown or legendary animals. From Bigfoot in the Pacific Northwest to Momo near Missouri, North America has a long history of bizarre animal sightings, many of which remain unexplained to this day. In southern Illinois, one small town became the epicenter of one of the most perplexing cryptid cases in American history, known as the Enfield Horror. This creature appeared in the spring of 1973, terrifying residents and leaving behind physical evidence that baffled local authorities and scientists alike. Unlike many other sightings, the Enfield Horror was seen by multiple witnesses, including children, adults, and independent observers. Its appearances were brief, but consistent, leaving a trail of questions, speculation, and fear. Illinois is a state of contrasts. To the north lies Chicago, one of the largest cities in the country, while the southern regions are sparsely populated and heavily wooded. These forests cover millions of acres and provide ample shelter for wildlife, yet occasionally they conceal something more mysterious. The Enfield Horror emerged from this environment, a creature that seemed biologically impossible and behaviorally alien. The origins of the story can be traced to the evening of April 25, 1973, when Henry McDaniel returned home with his wife. Their house was isolated on the outskirts of town, surrounded by dense woods and farmland. Their children, Lil and Henry Jr., were waiting inside, visibly upset. They described hearing strange scratching noises outside the front door, sounds that were far more unsettling than those produced by common animals. When the children opened the door to investigate, they were confronted with a creature unlike any they had ever seen. According to the children, it had 3 legs, a squat body, and enormous pink eyes that glowed in the porch light. Its short arms ended in long, curved claws, and it made hissing sounds that terrified the children. They immediately ran to their bedroom, where they hid until their parents returned. Henry McDaniel, upon hearing their account, took a .22 caliber rifle and a flashlight and cautiously approached the front door. He witnessed the creature retreating toward the backyard fence. Attempting to protect his family, he fired 4 shots, which elicited nothing more than a hissing sound. The creature then leaped with incredible agility across the yard and disappeared into the woods. Police were called, and the scene revealed footprints and claw marks embedded in the wood, which were unusual in both shape and size. Plaster casts revealed 6-toed tracks with variations in size, suggesting an extraordinary anatomy. Investigators confirmed that these physical traces were authentic and could not easily be dismissed as fabrications. Shortly afterward, other reports surfaced. Greg Garrett, a 10-year-old boy, described being knocked down by a squat, gray creature with a hissing sound as he walked home. Deep gouges were found in his shoes, indicating a tangible encounter. These multiple independent reports compelled local Sheriff Roy Poshard to consider that something truly unusual had occurred. Over the next few days, reports continued. Residents described the creature as gray-furred, squat, and capable of leaping incredible distances. Some claimed it could reach heights of 10 feet in a single bound. Its calls were likened to a banshee, shrill and unearthly, which seemed to terrify even the bravest adults. Witnesses emphasized that its anatomy did not resemble any known animal. 3 legs, large clawed hands, and eyes that glowed unnaturally. The story quickly spread beyond Enfield. News coverage drew curiosity seekers and hunters, some of whom attempted to locate or confront the creature. Several individuals fired weapons at it without effect, prompting Sheriff Poshard to intervene to prevent chaos. These encounters only reinforced the impression that the creature was extraordinary and possibly beyond terrestrial biology. Cryptozoologists became interested. Lauren Coleman, a renowned researcher, traveled to Enfield to interview witnesses and examine evidence firsthand. He documented claw marks, footprints, and audio recordings of the creature's shrill cries, even for experienced investigators. The Enfield Horror defied comparison with any known species, further fueling speculation about its nature. Theories about the Enfield Horror varied widely. Some suggested it was a misidentified kangaroo, which could explain its powerful leaps and odd footprints. However, Kangaroos do not have 3 legs, and the creature's shrill cries did not match those of any marsupial. Others proposed an escaped exotic primate, noting that monkeys can leap impressively and make strange noises. But this failed to explain the creature's unusual anatomy and its apparent resistance to gunfire. Skeptics argued that the sightings might involve mass hysteria or social contagion. They noted that people in small towns are easily influenced by rumors, and repeated reports could amplify fear and exaggeration. However, mass hysteria alone could not account for the physical evidence. 6-toed footprints, deep claw marks, and damage to property. Something tangible had indeed occurred. The Enfield Horror also exhibited behaviors uncommon in ordinary animals. Witnesses consistently noted its ability to leap incredible distances, a deliberate awareness of human observers, and the avoidance of capture. Unlike typical wild animals, it did not flee randomly but seemed to make calculated decisions, suggesting an intelligence or instinct beyond normal wildlife. Another curious aspect was the creature's sudden disappearance. After several weeks of sightings and encounters, it vanished without a trace. No additional sightings occurred in the years that followed, leaving behind only the testimony of witnesses and the physical evidence from April and May 1973. This ephemeral presence contributed to speculation that the creature might not be of this earth, possibly extraterrestrial or crossing briefly into our reality before returning to its own realm. In southern Illinois, the Enfield Horror remains a topic of fascination, while some dismiss it as a hoax, misidentification, or exaggerated storytelling. The combination of witness credibility, multiple independent reports, and physical evidence suggests that something truly extraordinary occurred. The McDaniel children, Greg Garrett, and other observers provide consistent descriptions that continue to baffle cryptozoologists and enthusiasts. The events in Enfield demonstrate that the natural world, particularly in remote or forested regions, may harbor secrets beyond our understanding. From historical legends of mythical creatures to modern cryptid reports, the line between fact and folklore often blurs. The Enfield Horror serves as a chilling reminder that reality can be stranger than fiction, and some encounters defy explanation, no matter how thoroughly they are investigated. As the story unfolded, scholars and local authorities examined both psychological and environmental factors that could explain the sightings. They considered the possibility of escaped animals, hallucinations, or exaggeration, but none fully accounted for the tangible evidence. Tracks, scratches, and the recorded audio all pointed to a real entity with characteristics unlike any known animal. Over time, the Enfield Horror became a subject of intense debate within cryptozoology. Researchers compared it to Bigfoot sightings, the Momo creature, and other regional cryptids. Yet unlike many of these cases, Enfield involved concrete evidence that could be studied, documented, and analyzed. This makes it unique and enduring, a true puzzle in the annals of American unexplained phenomena. After the initial wave of sightings and the terrifying experiences of the McDaniels, the town of Enfield remained on edge. Residents were reluctant to leave their homes after dark, and even the bravest individuals took precautions to avoid the forests surrounding the town. The media attention and the strange nature of the creature only amplified the fear, curiosity, and speculation among locals. On the night of May 7, 1973, Henry McDaniel experienced his second encounter. A restless night was punctuated by the frantic barking of his neighbor's dogs. The sound drew McDaniel outside, armed with his rifle and flashlight. As the dim light fell across the backyard, he recognized the same gray, squat creature he had seen before. This time, McDaniel held his fire, choosing to observe the creature's movements instead. The Enfield Horror, as described in multiple accounts, had a distinctive gray fur, a squat torso, and 3 powerful legs. Its arms, though short, ended in sharp claws, and its large pink eyes seemed to reflect an intelligence far beyond that of a typical forest animal. Witnesses consistently noted the extraordinary agility of the creature. It could leap vast distances, clear fences effortlessly, and move silently despite its size. This second sighting prompted McDaniel to contact the local media, sharing his experiences with a regional radio station. The story quickly caught the attention of the broader community. While some dismissed it as exaggeration or local folklore, others traveled from neighboring towns and states, hoping for a glimpse of the mysterious creature. One of these visitors was Rick Rainbow, a radio personality from WWKI in Kokomo, Indiana. Intrigued by McDaniel's reports, Rainbow visited Enfield with several companions. They explored abandoned properties and wooded areas near the McDaniel residence. It was during this excursion that they encountered the creature firsthand. According to Rainbow, the gray entity appeared suddenly near a decaying property, emitting a high-pitched banshee-like cry before leaping vertically and disappearing into the surrounding forest. Rainbow's team attempted to document the encounter, capturing audio of the creature's cries, but video or photographic evidence remained elusive. The creature's speed and agility made it nearly impossible to follow, and its behavior suggested both caution and intelligence. Cryptozoologist Lauren Coleman later analyzed Rainbow's recordings, confirming that the sounds did not match any known animal. Coleman's visit to Enfield also included examining claw marks, footprints, and other signs left by the creature, further solidifying the credibility of the reports. Despite the mounting evidence, skepticism remained. Some researchers suggested that escaped exotic animals could account for the sightings. Kangaroos, for instance, can jump impressive distances and sometimes hiss or bark when startled. However, kangaroos do not possess 3 legs, nor are they bulletproof, as witnesses described. Monkeys were also considered, particularly large apes capable of leaping. But again, the anatomical inconsistencies and unusual behavior of the creature left these explanations incomplete. Authorities investigated thoroughly. Plastic casts of footprints showed 6 toes, a feature unlike any known terrestrial animal. Claw marks were deeply embedded in wooden surfaces, indicating considerable strength. Both the McDaniels and independent witnesses, including those unfamiliar with local events, consistently described the same characteristics: squat body, gray fur, 3 legs, pink glowing eyes, and the ability to leap extraordinary distances. The consistency across accounts lent credence to the notion that the creature was not a figment of imagination or a simple hoax. As media coverage intensified, the town experienced a surge of visitors, some well-intentioned, others seeking to exploit the situation. Hunters and thrill-seekers arrived with firearms, hoping to capture or kill the creature. Sheriff Roy Pichard intervened, arresting several individuals for illegal weapons use and enforcing safety measures to protect the public. Despite the influx of outsiders, the creature's elusive nature ensured that it was never cornered or harmed. Social dynamics in the town were also affected. Rumors, gossip, and conflicting reports fueled tension among residents. Some believed the sightings were exaggerated, while others claimed that the creature's presence was undeniable. Researchers studying mass hysteria noted that these circumstances could amplify fear, but the physical evidence, footprints, claw marks, and audio recordings could not be explained by psychological phenomena alone. The Enfield Horror's behavior was particularly unusual. Unlike ordinary animals, it displayed what appeared to be strategic awareness of human observers. It avoided direct confrontation unless provoked, utilized its 3-legged anatomy to move efficiently, and relied on powerful leaps to escape threats. Its vocalizations, described as banshee-like, served as both a warning and a form of communication, further distinguishing it from typical wildlife. Over time, the creature's appearances became less frequent. By late May 1973, sightings ceased entirely. Whether it returned to the forest, was injured, or simply disappeared remains unknown. Its brief presence left a lasting mark on Enfield, creating a legend that continues to captivate. Theories about the Enfield Horror proliferated. Some suggested the creature was a misidentified kangaroo, noting its ability to leap great distances and leave unusual tracks. Others proposed a large escaped ape, drawing parallels to reports of wild baboon-like animals in nearby regions. However, these theories fail to account for the 3-legged descriptions, the creature's apparent resistance to gunfire, and its highly unusual vocalizations. Some speculated that the Enfield Horror was extraterrestrial or interdimensional in origin. This theory posits that the creature may have temporarily crossed into our reality, explaining its sudden appearances, extraordinary abilities, and equally sudden disappearance. Such hypotheses align with the idea that certain cryptid encounters cannot be explained by conventional zoology or biology. The Enfield Horror also inspired discussions in psychological and social research. Western Illinois University conducted studies on social contagion, mass hysteria, and suggestibility. In 19 analyzing how rumors and media coverage could influence perceptions of unusual events, their findings indicated that, while some witnesses might have been influenced by social factors, the McDaniels' experiences and the physical evidence remained credible. Ultimately, the Enfield Horror challenges conventional understanding. It represents a case where multiple independent witnesses, tangible physical evidence, and consistent behavioral patterns converge to suggest that a truly unknown entity once roamed the forests of southern Illinois. Its story highlights the limits of human knowledge and the possibility that the natural world may still harbor extraordinary, undiscovered life forms. For those living in Enfield, during that spring, the creature was real and terrifying. It left an indelible mark on their memories, shaping the town's folklore and attracting attention from across the country. For cryptozoologists, the Enfield Horror remains a rare case, where eyewitness testimony, environmental evidence, and behavioral consistency intersect, providing a unique glimpse into the unknown. Even decades later, discussions about the Enfield Horror continue. The debate between skeptics and believers underscores the enduring fascination with unexplained phenomena. While mainstream science has yet to offer a definitive explanation, the combination of witness accounts, physical traces, and recordings leaves open the possibility that the Enfield Horror was a genuine anomaly, one that defies conventional classification. Its story is a testament to the idea that the world is not fully understood, that mysteries persist, and that sometimes the line between reality and legend blurs. In this way, the Enfield Horror is both a historical event and a living legend, a reminder that the forests of Illinois, and perhaps the wider world, still conceal secrets beyond human comprehension. After the final sightings in 1973, Enfield slowly returned to normal, but the memory of the creature lingered. Locals remained wary of the surrounding forests, and the events became a part of the town's lore. Even years later, former residents would recount the terrifying experiences with the McDaniels and other eyewitnesses, often emphasizing how vividly they remembered the creature's pink, glowing eyes, squat gray body, and three-legged movement. The Enfield Horror remained an anomaly in cryptozoological studies because of the combination of multiple independent witness accounts, tangible evidence, and consistent descriptions. Unlike many cryptid reports that rely solely on anecdotal storytelling, the Enfield Horror left footprints, claw marks, and even audio recordings of its strange cries, creating a dossier that puzzled both local authorities and scientists. Cryptozoologist Lauren Coleman, after visiting Enfield, noted that the creature's physical characteristics defied known biological patterns. 3 legs, powerful leaping ability, clawed hands, and vocalizations unlike any terrestrial animal made it difficult to categorize. Coleman suggested that either the creature represented a previously undiscovered species, or it was something entirely outside conventional understanding, possibly interdimensional or extraterrestrial. In addition to Coleman's research, the case attracted other experts. Anthropologists, biologists, and folklorists examined the town's historical context, seeking parallels with other legends. Some compared the Enfield Horror to the Momo creature in Missouri, Bigfoot in the Pacific Northwest, and other North American cryptids. While these creatures share characteristics such as large size, hair-covered bodies, and elusive, the Enfield Horror's anatomy and behavior were uniquely bizarre, particularly the 3-legged locomotion and short clawed arms. Historical accounts suggested that cryptids with unusual features have been reported throughout the Americas for centuries. Native folklore includes stories of horned or serpentine birds, ape-like creatures, and mysterious forest beings. While modern sightings are often dismissed as hoaxes, the Enfield Horror's detailed evidence photographs of claw marks, plaster casts of footprints, and multiple audio recordings cannot easily be explained away. Over time, skeptics proposed alternative explanations. Misidentified animals were the most common theory. Some suggested the creature might have been an escaped kangaroo, which could explain its bounding movements and odd footprints. Others theorized that it could have been a large primate or baboon escaped from a private collection. However, these explanations fell short when considering the creature's anatomy, the 6-toed footprints, and its apparent invulnerability to bullets. Psychologists and sociologists examined the case from a mass hysteria perspective. Western Illinois University researchers conducted studies on social contagion and the influence of media on small-town populations. Their studies suggested that while rumors and media coverage might have amplified fear and misperceptions, the McDaniels account and the associated physical evidence remained credible. The footprints, claw marks, and independent witness reports could not be attributed solely to mass hysteria. For local authorities, the Enfield Horror posed a unique challenge. Sheriff Roy Pochard and his deputies were confronted with multiple reports, yet had no framework to explain the events. They documented the physical evidence carefully and investigated each sighting. Despite the lack of a conclusive explanation, they recognized that something extraordinary had occurred. Public safety became a concern, as many outsiders and hunters arrived, seeking the creature. Pochard enforced the law to prevent violence, while acknowledging that the phenomenon was beyond conventional understanding. Eyewitnesses consistently reported that the creature seemed aware of their presence and acted strategically. It avoided direct confrontation unless provoked and used its extraordinary leaping ability to escape. Its vocalizations were unique, described as high-pitched banshee-like screams, which further distinguished it from known wildlife. Even when fired upon, the creature did not behave as a typical animal would, suggesting that it possessed either incredible resilience or a different physiological structure entirely. The Enfield Horror has also been examined through the lens of the paranormal. Some researchers hypothesize that it could have been extraterrestrial or interdimensional, temporarily crossing into our reality. This theory accounts for its sudden appearance, unusual anatomy, and equally sudden disappearance. Its month-long presence in Enfield could represent a brief foray into our world before it returned to its native environment. Whether another dimension, a hidden habitat, or even an alien realm. Despite the passage of time, the Enfield Horror remains a subject of fascination for cryptozoologists, paranormal investigators, and enthusiasts. Its story demonstrates the limits of human knowledge and the potential for the natural world to harbor extraordinary phenomena. The combination of multiple independent sightings, consistent physical descriptions, and tangible evidence makes the Enfield Horror one of the most compelling cryptid cases in the United States. In addition to scientific curiosity, the creature also became a cultural touchstone for local stories, newspaper articles, and radio broadcasts preserved the memory of the events, and the town became synonymous with one of the most mysterious cryptid phenomena in American history. The fear and speculation surrounding the creature shaped the collective consciousness of the community, leaving a lasting impact. Even decades later, discussions about the Enfield Horror persist. Researchers continue to analyze the evidence, comparing it to other unexplained phenomena, and considering potential explanations. Some maintain a skeptical stance, attributing the events to misidentification or exaggeration. Others remain convinced that the Enfield Horror represents an unexplained anomaly, one that challenges conventional biology and the boundaries of human understanding. The Enfield Horror also serves as a cautionary tale for those who encounter the unknown. Witnesses experienced fear, uncertainty, and disbelief, yet their accounts have endured due to consistency and documentation. The creature's behavior strategic, intelligent, and elusive demonstrates that encounters with unknown entities are often brief but profoundly impactful. It highlights how reality can sometimes exceed the bounds of human expectation, reminding us that the natural world still holds mysteries waiting to be uncovered. For cryptozoologists, the Enfield Horror represents a rare and valuable case study. It offers insights into how unknown species or entities might interact with humans, how physical evidence can corroborate witness testimony, and how cultural and social factors influence perception. The story also underscores the importance of careful documentation, independent verification, and scientific rigor when investigating unusual phenomena. Ultimately, the Enfield Horror leaves us with enduring questions. Was it a misidentified animal, an undiscovered species, or something entirely beyond our understanding? Was it interdimensional, extraterrestrial, or merely a cryptid that eluded science? Despite decades of speculation, no definitive answer has been found. The creature's brief presence in Enfield, its astonishing agility, its unique anatomy, and its mysterious disappearance continue to puzzle and intrigue those who study it. The legacy of the Enfield Horror is a testament to the unknown. It reminds us that even in the modern world, where science and technology dominate, they remain phenomena that challenge explanation. It stands as a symbol of mystery, an enduring enigma that connects folklore, cryptozoology, and human fascination with the unexplained. For the people of Enfield and observers around the world, the creature's fleeting appearances left a mark that cannot be erased. It provokes curiosity, skepticism, and wonder in equal measure, whether one believes it was a terrestrial animal, a hoax, or something otherworldly. The Enfield Horror demonstrates that the universe still contains mysteries that defy human comprehension. As historians, cryptozoologists, and enthusiasts revisit the events of 1973, the story of the Enfield Horror continues to inspire investigation, debate, and imagination. Its presence may have lasted only a few weeks, but its impact endures, a haunting reminder that some phenomena exist on the edge of perception, just beyond the boundaries of what we can explain. The Enfield Horror remains one of the most remarkable and perplexing cases of unexplained cryptid encounters in history. Its story combines fear, evidence, and the unknown in a way that few other cases can. For anyone who studies cryptids, folklore, or the unexplained, it is a cornerstone of research and speculation, offering lessons about observation, documentation, and the enduring power of mystery. No matter how much time passes, the spring of 1973 in Enfield will always be remembered as a period when the impossible walked the earth. The three-legged, gray-furred creature with glowing eyes and clawed hands remains a symbol of the unknown, a reminder that the world is far stranger than we imagine, and that sometimes the truth is more incredible than fiction.